What is going on YouTube? This is Jim back with another video. Today taking a look at some StarCraft 2 merchandise. Happy 10th anniversary to StarCraft 2. You may recall that every time StarCraft came out, it was my game of the year. I was a huge fan of Wings of Liberty, and I love the game so much I went back and played the first one, which surprisingly I never did, and I loved it as well. In honor of one of the greatest RTSs, in my opinion, is Blizzard sale going on right now. And celebrating, they're giving away some pretty good incentives, including free shipping, and they released a bunch of new merchandise. And it's super easy. Just go to the Blizzard Gear Store. I will post a link in the description box below. So if you're interested, just go ahead and click there. But it'll take you to a page. It looks something like this, and it's got a lot of new stuff. I want to focus on the two statues, but I thought we'd just take a quick glance through. You see they have some framed art, which is surprising. It's the same piece of art over and over and over again. Despite the fact they say it's a limited production run, doesn't seem that limited to me when you're running it on 4 different sizes. But it is a pretty interesting pose of Kerrigan, the Queen of Blades. There's another really cool photo here of Kerrigan versus Nova. Again, they say this is, actually this one doesn't say limited, but they have a couple different sizes here. They have a replica Terran cruiser, the Artana statue, and a puzzle. But what I really want to focus on is these two figures here. So we'll go ahead and open these up, take a look at them together. This is from Beast Kingdom. I've covered some of their statues before. I think they do some pretty good work. They've really recently signed some sort of deal with Blizzard. We've seen them appear in numerous statues. They started off in Warcraft, and now they're working their way through some of the Starcraft figures. So if you like Beast Kingdom, I've done some other videos. You could check out some of their other Blizzard products that they've been working on. What I really like about these statues is that they're not too bad on price. A lot of these collector editions really seem to be very expensive. Now, this is definitely a smaller figure. It's only 6 inches, but it's got some cool detail to it, and I feel like the price is okay, particularly when you consider it's free shipping. Now, Blizzard isn't one of those companies that always does free shipping, so while you say, hey, Amazon is always doing that, you don't always necessarily get that great quality selection as you would on something like this. So it is a 6-inch statue from Beast Kingdom, and it's featuring StarCraft 2's Queen of Blades herself, Sarah Kerrigan. Now, what I like about this statue a lot is that it's got some really cool attention to detail on the base, and something that I felt the other statues did as well from Beast Kingdom is they have these really long sweeping pieces. A lot of times you see these statues, they're very tall and thin. I collect a lot of collector editions. That's probably where you saw my channel before, because I'm always buying and unboxing PlayStation and Xbox collector editions of just games that really mean a lot to me. And I always was very interested by the fact that a lot of these are very tall and thin. And it seems like Beast Kingdom has done a really good thing of kind of opening these up. You start to get a really good sense of kind of how menacing these characters are. Now, Sarah Kerrigan as the Queen of Blades, definitely a major villain in the game. I guess you could say she has somewhat of a redemptive arc. Don't worry, I'm not going to get into spoilers, even though it's a 10-year-old game. Needless to say, not all meets the eye, but these blades that she has, these bone blades that extend out like these wings, are really one of the coolest assets she has in the game. If you play with her in Heroes of the Storm, you'll notice that she uses those prominently as well. My only criticism would be I wish they were bigger. They do extend out very far. And they are kind of tucked in a little bit. I understand why. I mean, I get it. It's more of a budget statue, but man, it would have been cool if they had much bigger blade pieces that even snapped into her back that really extended them out. Kind of like what they did with the Cute but Deadly figure. And I like that idea, but they didn't do that here, but that's okay. I think this is a really neat figure. They took some nice photos of the box. I wish you could see more of the actual figure, but okay, we're looking at these kind of weird like press photos with all this stuff around it. It would have been nice just to see it against a white background, but it kind of gives you a sense of what you're looking at in terms of detail. I think the face looks pretty good. I think a lot of these figures screw up the face, honestly. This doesn't look too bad. I like the attention to detail and all the wisps in her hair. She has a very kind of dreadlock appearance and all of her little hair strands that are pulled back and then whipped behind her. She definitely has a lot of detail in her torso and her thigh with all of these weird kind of spike tendrils, and then definitely her clawed hands, which unfortunately don't really photograph that well here based on the way they did this box art again, or this background they put on. I don't know why they did that. It's kind of hard to tell, but they do come out as very pointy, sharp claws, and they have a very claw-like appearance to them. And you should be able to definitively see where, I don't know if you can really see them here. No, not really, unfortunately, because of the contrast. But they have a really cool look to them. On the back here, you could see the hair kind of wisping down here. Looks really nice. I don't remember her having a butt that looks like that, but I wasn't looking at it, honestly, when I was playing the game. So maybe that's a little bit of creative liberty there. But everything else in terms of the spikes on her thighs and definitely the shin pads are definitely true to form. And if you could tell here in this photo, maybe, I don't know, I guess not so much, but she is barefoot. She doesn't wear any shoes, and that looks good too. And then I love how it looks like she's erupting out of a Zerg kind of structure and these awesome, awesome blades that stick out. If I could, any other criticism I could give the statue, besides the fact that I'm not a huge fan, I wish the wingspan was just a little bit deeper. I don't know why they have this really nice, maybe to pad the stats, but they have this really odd, really nice statue up to about here. I'm drawing a line with my mouse right here. This looks good. And then from here down, I'm not a big fan of the words of the statue telling you what the statue is. I've said this 1,000 times before. If you don't know who this figure is by looking at this, then you wouldn't buy it. You know what I mean? You don't need to you don't need to look at this and go, oh, it must be Starcraft 2. It must be a villain of Starcraft 2. And because of them doing that, it has this weird kind of hourglass base that just doesn't really kind of mesh with the overall flow of the statue. And even if this was, even if this does pad an inch or two, okay, that's fine. Just make this the bottom. That would look so much better to me. I don't know why they insist on putting these bases in these statues. They did it on the Blizzard ones as well. I don't know if it's like a Beast Kingdom specialty thing, or Blizzard was like, hey, we really need to get the name StarCraft 2 out there for branding. I'm not really sure, but it just doesn't have a good look to it. And, when you look at all these really, even from the back view here, beautiful, beautiful base. You could see these awesome Zergling kind of like mouth opening up like she's cocooning out of this egg. And then you have this dumb dopey. It's hard to tell. It almost looks like just a steel looking gray like cylinder or drum. You could see obviously the silhouette here in the corner, and you could see what I'm talking about. And it really kind of kills the statue, honestly. That's my biggest criticism, and it's a big one. Moving over to the Terran side, we have our hero, the Federation, Mr. Jimmy Raynor himself, which equally looks amazing. Now, one of the criticisms I have of this figure, and I do like the fact that we do have some depth here as well. It's not just a tall thing. We do have a nice long piece sticking out here. This is not Jim Raynor's primary weapon. He was never really known as a sniper. He's definitely known as a boots-on-the-ground Marine. He usually carries a gun, a very distinct-looking gun. That is not this. This is not a sniper rifle. This is a weapon you would typically see with Nova or, a sniper class, not something as a ground soldier. But the weapon aside, it is a weapon I guess he would be used to train in. I love everything else about this statue. I love the attention to detail on a lot of his pauldrons. We'll go ahead and start looking through some of these together. I love the attention to detail here on his pauldrons, especially some of the logos that he has. His iconic shield visor that's got that skull looking on it is just true to form. The boosters kind of on his back here look great. You really get a sense that his shoulders and arms are really larger than life. It really, his head is supposed to be kind of shrunk down, almost flush with his shoulders, something like you would see in a Samus Aran statue or Samus Aran pose, where she's got these ginormous shoulders, big guns, kind of overarching a kind of a domed-in helmet. And you can see that here, and they've absolutely nailed this pose. I can't really say enough good things about that. All the individual fingers seem to be individually detailed here. You could see the trigger finger here with all the individual fingers. Even the hand here holding out the gun looks really good. Lots of nice attention to detail on his boots. This looks completely true to form, exactly how you would expect to see his boots. Hopefully we have a shot of his back here. Yep. And you could see all the nice like plate metal that's going down his arms, all of these like tubes that connect to his back with these different, I assume what would be air tanks or different parts of like power armor to kind of like hydrate this, this war machine that when he walks around in this really cool armor. I love the base minus that stupid thing I mentioned before. It looks really, really cool. And there you can see him standing on a dead enemy, what looks to be a Zergling that he's taken out, laying there, and he's just kind of walking through it. You can even see a little bit of the kind of guts almost like dripping up his leg. You can just imagine if this was like a squishy statue. You could just almost imagine that squishing noise as he kind of walked through it. And it's really, really cool. I love how it has this nice plate on it where, a lot of the battles take place on these floating metal structures, these giant plates. That looks really cool as well. But then again, you have this really dopey Starcraft base. Honestly, I wish you could just snap this thing off. I don't get it. So if you're interested in either of these, they're running a promotion right now where they are offering free shipping. They do a lot of these throughout the year, so don't feel like if you missed this video, they will do them again. There's the code there for you to use. These aren't bad prices, honestly, for what you're getting. I think there's a nice attention to detail in there. So leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on the Kerrigan and Raynor statue. Are you picking up either of them? You wait until the next batch? Let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys found this video informative. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.